Unusual Normality is a lovely personal essay, and I think from the very beginning you understand that its intention is mostly just to entertain you. He's telling a story that will provide you with some laughs, and along the way, you're going to learn a few things probably about the experiences of other cultures, in particular those young people who had been pulled into wars as children in different African nations. But again, the weight of that, the gravity of that, would make a very heavy, deep, dark kind of talk. And because we are able to enter into this with the contrast that the author presents alongside his life of normality, we are able to enjoy the story with moments of humor. Unusual Normality. The title alone gives you that oxymoron that lets you know we're going to be looking at these contrasts. One of the very first vignettes that happen in the story is the scene at the airport. He's gotten off the plane, he's waiting for his luggage to come through, and it doesn't. And if you have ever had this happen to you, you know this is not at all a moment of levity. This is usually very frustrating. You're tired. You might have had something in your luggage that was a present or something valuable, and it's gone. But for him, in that moment, he's able just to walk away because this accentuates the fact that he didn't really have anything of value in the suitcase. But also, since time has passed, we know that it was not a monumental setback. In fact, he very quickly was able to replace those clothes with the new family that he was joining and join in the new life that he was about to enter. One of the conflicts or contrasts that we see that most students enjoy is the comment about the report card. And he knew he had to have a report card to enter school, but he doesn't quite understand how the school admissions department wouldn't understand why he wouldn't have it, having left a country that's in war. When you're leaving a country, fleeing for your life, you don't think, oh, let me go get my report card. That was the contrast that he mentions. And because we in America understand the idea of report cards and students kind of live in that world, when you put that alongside the idea of this is a person who has been struggling for his life, we can see the weight of that, and that contrast gives us a moment of humor as well. This is an interesting quote, and I think brings into the essay that darker side. It's a moment of seriousness. All I had come to know since I was 11 was how to survive. I didn't know how to live. And that idea of putting survive and live next to each other and defining them as very different is the moment of gravity, and you understand what he experienced and what he is now entering into. And so this kind of brings it back home and is very true and honest to the reality that he experienced. He continues on talking about the interactions that he has with his peers. And again, we have moments of humor where he understands their naivete. He doesn't blame them for their innocence. In fact, it is their innocence that lets him enjoy his own childhood because he can't connect to it through his own personal experience, but he can see it in them and then vicariously is able to have that moment. So it's a really dynamic relationship with his friends. Part of that requires that they not know the truth behind his past. He wants to keep that locked away so that they will not change the way that they're acting. in the end, you see him come back to his idea of the contrast. Here he is, he has no mother. Here they are, they have families that love them and families that bother them and annoy them. And he's trying to explain through his loss the value of what it is that they have. Um, and you see at the end his ability to define that because of his personal experience. He knows how important and valuable those familial relationships are, and he wishes that he could say to them um, how precious that is. He wants to tell them that they're lucky, but at the same time, keeping them in the dark to his situation allows him to experience that innocence again. Ishmael Bay, Unusual Normality.